From overwhelmed to organized, the secret to prioritizing life goals. If you felt overwhelmed with what to work on next or what should I focus on in my life, this is going to be the video for you, because in this video, I'm going to outlay 4 different steps on how to work through the overwhelm to be able to prioritize your next life goal. Because I've been there. I've been in a place where I've been like, whoa, what do I work on next? I have all these different things I could chase, I could go after, but what's my true north? What's really important to me? For those of you who don't know me, my name is Chris Richardson. I'm a life coach here at Life on Your Terms. And I help people do exactly this. I help them find direction, find clarity on what's their next step in life. So I promise you, by the end of this video, you will understand more about that. With that being said, let's jump into it. The first step, the first thing to identifying and working through the overwhelm in your life goals is to actually understand your overwhelm. Identify what is the source of your stress, because I'd imagine it's from 1 or 2 areas in your life. Is it your job? Is it your relationships? Is it your health? Is it your money? Is it your work-life balance? Looking at those 5 things, and there are more, but being able to look at what is my source of stress? What is the thing that is causing me the most distraught feelings? And if you're having struggles coming up with that, I'd encourage you to take the balance wheel in the description below at the end of this video. I will talk more about that in a little bit. But identifying the biggest source of stress can be important. And then assessing your biggest priorities. Maybe you're not super stressed, but you're just not sure what to work on. Well, asking yourself, what are your biggest priorities? What do you value? I'm gonna get into that again more in the next point. So acknowledge the feelings of change as well. A lot of us are like, oh my gosh, what do I work on? I don't know what to work on. Well, you need to ask yourself, what will it cost you if you don't change? So often we're like, well, I'm gonna jump to this. I'm gonna have that shiny object syndrome where I jump. What will it cost you if you continue to do that? Or what will it cost you if you don't take action at all? Looking at it that way can really highlight how important it is to understand how to focus on a goal and pursue that goal for a certain amount of time and having no quit within you. So understand the overwhelm is the first piece. And that leads us to the second piece, which is clarifying your life goals. Ask yourself, what does amazing look like? So maybe you've identified and understood, okay, my priorities is to make an impact with people and be able to help them, guide them with direction. And I don't like my current job because I'm not having the impact I want. I kind of described my life mission, but let's say that's your thing. You want to look at that. And then you go, okay, what does amazing look like in my professional area? And then my answer would be to make an impact with people to help them find a direction. Maybe the same thing for you. Maybe for you, it's being a CEO of a company. Or maybe for you, it's working on design within a company. Or maybe it's having a better relationship. You just have to ask yourself, look at your stress area, then look at what does amazing look like in that stress area, and then you're gonna get the delta between those two. You're gonna understand all this in between is the delta between those two, and you need to work to get to amazing. Now with that, you have to understand what is the biggest priorities, and that ties back to the first point. What are the biggest things you wanna chase within life? So that kind of ties that into what is making the most out of your life. For me, making the most out of my life is impacting the most amount of people possible. But maybe that's not for you. You have to identify what is making the most out of your life. Maybe it's having an amazing family. Maybe it's making the most amount of money. Maybe it's making an impact in people's lives like me. You just have to look at what does amazing look like and what is making the most out of your life look like. I no longer ask myself, am I happy? I say fuck happiness, like Alex Hormozy. Obviously I want to optimize for a good mood, but I focus on what is making the most out of my life. Which decision will make me think when I look back and be like, you know what, that was a great decision because I'm making the most out of my life. That's how I look at my life. And I think that's how it's been really helpful for me to look at my life in that way, because when you focus on happiness and when you focus on, my life goal is to be happy, well, you put yourself at a deficit and then you have to work to be happy. But if you say that that's your goal, you'll never get there. At least that's how I see it, I guess. Maybe I'm wrong in that. But again, with clarifying life goals, that brings me to the balance wheel where you can identify your professional, your relationships, your resources, or your health, with each of those having 3 subcategories that are more specific. It can help you look at, okay, that's what I want to work on, or this is what I need to focus on. This is where I'm overwhelmed and where I want to get organized in, and this is the goals I want to have. So it's about clarifying those life goals. Now, the third piece in this framework is how to set those goals. How do you set those goals? This is a huge process. And with setting goals, I would encourage you in this huge process to focus on the process, not the outcome. So instead of saying, I want to make $250,000 a year, what actions would go into making $250,000 a year? Or instead of saying, I want to have this job, what would go into having that job? Same thing with, I want to lose 15 pounds, what would go into losing 15 pounds? And it applies to everything. If you feel that you have this goal and you've identified what does amazing look like, you've identified your overwhelm, you've looked at what the amazing look like is an outcome, but you have to look at the actions to get there. And that's the goals you're going to set. So you have, what does amazing look like up here, and you're here. Well, you have to take these actions to get there. And that's what your goals are going to be surrounded by. Because what that'll help you do is it'll help you be proud of yourself no matter the outcome. At least that's what I've found with myself. I make all of my goals now completely process-based. So with my quarterly objectives, it's to work 20 hours a week outside of my day job doing this stuff. It's completely process-based, and then I have predictions tied to that. I think that if I work those 20 hours, this will happen. Does that kind of make sense? So with that, I would encourage you to set daily, weekly, quarterly, and yearly goals. I have sticky notes for my daily goals, and those are just working 1 hour on this or that, or making 2 YouTube videos. It's stuff like that are just my daily goals. And on my weeklies, I have my quarterlies and my yearlies, and I review my quarterlies every quarter. And I found that very helpful. So if you can do those, that can be helpful, I think. And then I would encourage you to after you take that balance wheel, to reflect. Look at your areas and look at, okay, what goals do I want in there? And then once you have those goals, I would encourage you to practice the 4 it's of goal setting. What I mean by that is say it out loud. So for example, I want to go to the gym 5 days a week. And then I'm going to write that down. I want to go to the gym 5 days a week. And I'm going to put a date on it. I'm going to start going to the gym 5 days a week tomorrow, whatever that date is for you. And then this is the kicker. After you've done those 3, you're going to send it to someone. So again, say it, write it, date it, and send it. When you do those 4 things, your accountability will be so much higher, and it'll help you get so much more done, especially when you share it with someone. I found that to be huge. So again, how to set these goals, you would again start with your biggest stress and your biggest importance, as we talked about with the last 2 points. Once you've set them, it's time to move to maintaining focus and momentum. And that's the 4th piece to this, is it's really taking action on those goals and then maintaining focus and momentum. We've gone to the beginning of this video where you feel overwhelmed. Now you probably feel a little bit more organized after practicing those things, so it's important to stay focused. I would encourage you to practice these things over a whole quarter or a whole year. And when you do those things, you can do progress reviews. You can look at, okay, this quarter, that goal didn't give me the prediction that I had, but I'm really proud that I took those actions, but I want to optimize for a different outcome, so I'm going to set this action-based goal next time. And you can understand and work through those process reviews. On top of that, we have to mention setbacks and starting again. There's going to be times where you get set back on these goals. Maybe, again, your goal is to go to the gym 5 days a week with a prediction that you'll lose 15 pounds. With that, you may miss a day. Life happens. So you may miss a day, and it's about getting back on the horse the next day, not letting it turn into 2 days, because that's where it becomes a problem. So you want to be able to manage those setbacks and just start back up it again. That's kind of a skill in and of itself. And on top of that, that kind of goes with adjusting and adapting. Kind of mentioned that earlier, where if you've set this goal with this prediction, it didn't give you the prediction you wanted, but you're happy because you did the process. Then you can adjust and assess what you need to do to optimize for the outcome that you would like. And finally, with this all, I'd encourage you to celebrate your milestones. Celebrate the fact that you're taking this journey, and as you do these process-based goals, you should feel good about them, because you're really taking action in your life, and a lot of people don't do that. So that was from Overwhelmed to Organized, the secret to prioritizing life goals. If you liked the video, take that balance wheel in the description. It's going to help you, and also hit that like and subscribe button.